We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, a different heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll and the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobuni wave was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. I see the rising sun from Africa. Oh, this is time of victory. Oh, yeah. I see future in Africa. Oh, yeah. People of Biafra. See light shining on the world. Oh, yeah.
What's that, Martin? We're not fighting each other. We know where we're going. We're going to get Biafra. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I need them to understand this. We've crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return. There is nothing anybody can do. If I'm alive, if I'm dead, if I'm wherever I may be, Biafra will come. If I'm dead, it's even better because it will come far more quicker. I can assure you. If Biafra is fighting for you, no one will touch your property. If you're fighting alone, you're bound to lose it. So Biafra is the best. We will become the 16th member country of ECOWAS. If Nigeria doesn't release those properties, then we'll take them to court and we'll get them back. even twice the value. The Jews had investments all over the world. Most of the priceless artifacts and paintings belong to many families in Germany. It was stolen by the Nazi Party. Do you know that? Eventually they got everything back with compensation on top of it. That's what we're going to do. If you touch our investments, we'll come back for you. And we'll know where we can get it from. So there is nothing for anyone to worry about. It's only if I'm not stopping you from being a Nigerian, if you are born on the streets of Lagos and you want to be a Lagosian and your name is Adamma, oh, well and good. There's no problem.
Onye si na akata anya ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fe arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị iwe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi ga arụ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị pụta anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụ anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha gaa n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọhịa nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra bụ ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm juru ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị anya ka isi na-ekwu ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizoba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe tịtụ ozu ọgbọgọwa mgbe mmiri Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe ruo ememiri Fero site otu a mee ka Fero ka ọ guzo n'ihu ụmụ ndị anyị ga-ebi ka o wee taa akọkọ ikiri ụtọ ọzọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụbụ nwa bụ ekekere n'igwe n'ụwa onye ọbụla kere gị n'oge mmalite n'oge ọgwụgwụ kama anyị onwe anyị gwa anọkwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akpọ n'okwu gị na-anọgide ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe na-ekebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu abịa ma
Welcome. Thank you for joining us wherever you're joining from. I appreciate you. Like and share the program. Like and share to anyone that is close to you. Those who wish to hear us once again, like and share to them. I'm not going to take much of your time. We are going to be very fast at this. I came later than I'm supposed to. And I'm supposed to be resting. It's my resting time. But because I have set the live stream already, so I have to come spend some brief time and then we call it a day. So remember that as we come here to speak, we are not here to instigate violence or attack anybody. All we are saying is that we deserve freedom. The Biafran people deserve freedom. And that is what we are saying. Remember, today is Monday. Monday is a day that I can't afford to say I will not be online. Because one of the responsibility I have, as I have always said, is to give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa a voice. And the memory of Monday sit at home must be kept. That is one way you can give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu visibility and Mazi Simon Ekpa visibility. By keeping the memory of the Monday sit at home. Monday sit at home was a voluntary civil disobedience by the Biafran people. That was what broke the camel's back. And Nigerian government blackmailed it, conducted so many false flag operations just to demonize it. And today, most of the accusation they have against our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa is based on today, Monday sit at home. But for how long Mazi Simon Ekpa was away, the sit at home continues. It continues to the extent that the government begin to attack individuals by themselves. They begin to destroy market and impose compulsory coming out, forcing people out. That shows that all this while, the people we are doing it on their own without anybody being forced. It is a confirmation because the absence of Mazi Simon Ekpa, even in his absence, people were obeying until the government came all out to attack them. So when they talk about enforcement, the Biafran people were not enforcing this at home. It is the other way around. It is the Nigerian people with their governors and their politicians who were forcing people to come out. But the Biafrans were ready to make the sacrifice to air their opinion, to demand for the unconditional release of their leader, and also to delegitimize every politician in Biafran land. And they did it without looking back, without being forced. We saw it, every one of us saw it. They pretend about it with all the lies and blackmail they presented. But yet, the Biafran people continue to do the needful. The Biafran people continue to sit at home. They didn't care. Nobody cared about the blackmail, and we did a very wonderful job. The sit at home was able to bring Biafra to the limelight. The international community began to pay attention. Those who were pretending could not pretend anymore. They couldn't pretend. They began to listen. At a point in time, remember, every one of them began to call for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But no matter what happens today, even if it is only one person that is observing it today, we will keep the memory. Even if there is nobody observing it, we will keep the memory. Because the history of Biafra will not be written without this very sit at home, Monday sit at home. It must go into history. It is a must. So wherever you are watching today, I urge you to continue to do your own part any way you know you can. As I have told you, you are entitled to be anywhere you want to be. You are free to belong to wherever you want to belong. But while you are belonging to wherever you want to belong, search your conscience and ask yourself, where I am, is it for the interest of Biafra or for personal interest? Ask yourself, the group you belong, are you joining the group because the person there is from your village? Because you love the person there? Because the person there is your friend? Because your friend or your family member is there? Or because you are given a post? Or because you are seeking for recognition? Ask yourself, why are you where you are today? If you are there genuinely, continue to be there. You can make a difference from anywhere. There is no law that says that every one of us must be in one camp. No. And there is no law that says that we must speak in one voice. It will not happen. People will always have their opinion. But in that opinion, find a common ground where you and your brother and your sister will pursue a legitimate interest for everybody. Let it not be for selfish interest. It becomes a problem when you are forming a group based on selfish interest. And how do you know those who are doing things of selfish interest? Those people who are working on selfish interest do not appreciate anything anybody does except theirs. They don't appreciate anything anybody does except theirs. No group is getting it right except their own. So when you are becoming that selfish and self-centered, you lose your common sense. You lose your common sense. But every sensible person should be able to know that even in families, there are different voices. Even twins have different voices and different opinions. Identical twins still have different opinions and different decisions. They can belong to different groups and different parties. But at the same time, they will never forget that they are identical twins. They will never forget. They will have different opinions, but they never forget that they came from one family. That is the kind of spirit everybody needs to adapt, because we are in a dangerous time, a very dangerous time, where Nigerian government have paid some people to destroy our effort, destroy the effort of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, destroy the effort of Mazi Simon Ekpa. We are in a very dangerous time. And you can't shy away from this reality. You cannot wish it away. The only thing you can do is to confront the reality of today and make it better. Confront the reality of today. That is the only thing you can do. If you continue to shy away and run away from the reality, I bet you, before you know it, it will be too late. It will be too late. So wherever you are, I urge you in the name of Gabiama, if you know what you will do to make sure that Biafra remains on a positive light, continue to do it. But whatever you are doing that is putting Biafra in a negative light, stop it. Stop it, because already we have so much challenges. The amount of people today that have been paid that are working against Biafra is uncountable. And the most painful thing is that these people are not strangers. I continue to hammer it for you. When we talk about people who are against Biafra, don't be looking at Yoruba, looking at Hausa or Fulani. Look at your people. Today, the Janjaweed have employed them. What they did is to pay money. They give money and they are working tirelessly. You go to social media, they occupy the whole social media and they are disgracing themselves. Not me. So many of us have lost faith in this struggle. So many of us have become weakened. So many of us have decided not to talk about this struggle anymore. And if all of us go quiet, if all of us run away, what will become of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa? What will become of our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What will become our leaders? That is why I urge you to continue to stay strong. I see many of my brothers and sisters who are coming here, even when it is only two of us, like my beloved sister, Mazi Akere. Mazi is always here. Sometimes only me and her, we do the program and that is it. Chukwu Okukabiama himself, we bring those who we hear. By the time we share to one or two people, the message will be going. It is not the crowd that matters, but those who are committed to the assignment. Just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was looking for 100 men. Looking for 100 men in the midst of more than 80 million people. In the midst of more than 80 million people, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is looking for 100 men, and he said he has not seen up to 15. That is how bad it is. But at the same time, he is not looking at the crowd. Most important thing are those who are committed. So I appreciate those of you who are coming on a daily basis, like my beloved sister, Mazi Akere. I can see Jerry Mwibo there. Jerry, thank you so much for joining us, Jerry. I can see also Donascalo. Donascalo, thank you so much for joining, Donascalo. I appreciate every single one of you that are still committed. Even though there are many things that will discourage you. There are many discouragement online. When you come online, you will see discouragement from your own fellow Biafrans, so not even from strangers. Anytime you go to social media, you see discouragement. Sometimes it becomes so scary to go to social media, but we will never run away from these people. We have to face them head on. The disgrace they are bringing, it is going to cover them. Look at the one that called himself the ex-wife of our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You see what his ex-wife is doing? Disgracing herself everywhere. Disgracing herself right, left, and center. And she thinks she's disgracing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Going from one platform to the other. Speaking against something that a well-bred Igbo woman can never do. Not when you are still married. You claim to be still married there. You claim to still be a wife and you are attacking your husband, joining the enemies of your husband. Every single person you hold program are the people that are against your husband. What a shame. What a shame. They say that the criminal is not even ashamed. You heard him when you don't want to hear them. You heard him when you want to hear them. The criminal is not ashamed. They don't feel shame. The people that feel more shame are the relatives of the criminal. And that is our situation today. Those who claim to be Biafrans disgracing themselves because they have lost shame. They have lost conscience. But those of us who are genuinely seeking for our freedom, those of us who are genuinely concerned about our situation in Nigeria, they are putting us in a tight corner. They are making us look stupid. They are making us look unserious. But no matter what they do, we will never run from this responsibility. There are so many challenges we are supposed to be facing. But instead of people focusing on those challenges, they are busy gossiping. Busy gossiping. Today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not there to confront the enemies, to confront the Janjaweed. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu doesn't have time for anything when he was here, the only focus he is to focus on Nigerian government and the terrorists. Even when Biafran people are attacking him, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu doesn't pay attention. When Asaro Dokobo was attacking him, he spoke about him only once. After that once, he never spoke about him again. When his deputy was attacking him, he ignored him. He didn't talk about him even one day. He focused on the real problem. But today, some of us, we spend more time in gossip and responding to idiots than talking about issues that concerns us. We spend more time to promote our ego, our personal interest, our personal agenda, than to promote the cause of Biafra. It is a shame. Today is Monday, a day we remember Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a day we remember Mazi Simon Ekpa and all the effort he made. The legacy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa must not allow to die, no matter what happens. Even if there is nobody observing the state at home, I will continue to come online every Monday to keep that memory alive. Keeping that memory alive is a responsibility for me. A responsibility that I cannot joke with. A responsibility that I cannot play with, no matter how bad it is. Even if everybody hands off and say, oh, we know they do again. Every Monday, I must be online to keep that memory alive. Because it wasn't easy for us to get this far. It was not easy to get this far. It was a tug of war. A very big tug of war that was fought. Every one of us was watching. So this is not something that I can just wish away or throw away and say, oh, it is done. It is not done. We will continue to speak. We will continue to act. We will continue to put our case forward until Biafra is completely delivered. Until Biafra is completely delivered, we will never stop. It is not an easy task. I'm not telling you that it's easy. I know what I go through to be able to be online on a daily basis. Where I am now, I am supposed to be sleeping. This is the time I'm supposed to be sleeping and resting, but I have to keep to my promise that I have made to myself. Not to please anybody, not for anybody. A promise I made to my own self, to my chief, that I will continue to speak about Biafra. Encourage those who need to be encouraged. Direct those who need to be directed. And give those who need to be given time to express themselves. That is why I keep to my own promise. Whatever you do with the message you get from here, it belongs to you. You are still entitled to your opinion. You have the right to agree with me. You have the right to disagree. I never come here to force anybody to believe what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that we deserve freedom at the end of the day. Even the politicians in Nigeria, the one Nigerians, they need this freedom, even more than we do. The only difference is that they don't have the balls to speak about it. They don't have the balls to do what we do or say what we say. They feel they have another option simply because the money is going to their account. Even the money they think they are stealing is just a peanut compared to what the country owns. It is a shame and a very sad situation. Nigeria today is in the hand of terrorists, and they are doing nothing. The same people who claim that it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon that destabilize them, today they are running rampage and nobody is confronting them. And I ask, as they are coming, nobody is confronting them. When they will unleash their mayhem, who will defend you? That is the question I'm asking. As these people are preparing, when they are going to unleash this mayhem, who is going to defend you? Have you sat down and think about this? You have destroyed the ESN, destroyed the Liberation Army. You have removed every single thing that was put in place to guide the people. Every other region have their own defense. Omoteku is defending the southwest. The Hizbah is defending the north with their terrorists. In the Niger Delta, Biafra land, they have the militant there. In Biafra land, in Igbo land, who is defending you? Nobody. You destroy your own defense by yourself. And I say, when the time comes, every one of you, you will know what you did to yourself. Let us see this video. When we talk about them coming, it is not that they have come already. Let's share this video. Let us listen to this video. You see the arrival of the Janjaweed. Because when we are talking about coming, some of you think, oh, these people are blowing a fake trumpet. You call us messengers of doom. Some of you think we just come and we forge something and we say it. I want you to pay attention to this video that is going to play. Pay attention. Maybe, just maybe, you might be beginning to rethink that thing you think is right is not right. Listen to this very video. The trailer you are watching is a trailer carrying the Fulani terrorists in Oketiti. A trailer brought the Fulani terrorists in Oketiti. And instead of arresting them, what did they do? They turned the trailer back. They say the trailer should carry them back to where they brought them from. And you think they will go? They will only go to somewhere and drop them, and they will walk toward the bush and enter where they want to enter. You can imagine. These people are heading to the way. Fulani terrorists in a trailer. A trailer brought them to Oketiti. The people that are around did not allow them to land. They say they will not discharge. Able men. So when you say the terrorists are not hiding, their movement is very clear. They move, they transport themselves, change base from time to time. That is what you are seeing, the movement of terrorists. When we say they are coming, some of you think it's just a made-up story. They are around and they are increasing every day. This, what you are seeing is okay. A trailer brought the Fulani terrorists. They are not coming for business. They are not coming for farming. They don't have anything to do. They just come. And they didn't allow them to offload. They told them to go back to where they are coming from. Instead of using police to arrest these people because they have no mission except terrorism. They have no other mission. It is not like people from the south. When a southern is traveling to the north, you will see their mission is either they have a business trip, they want to go for a business trip, buy something there and come back, or want to go and sell and come back, and you will see the evidence. They go, they rent hotel, they stay in the hotel, do what they want to do, and they go back. But that is not the case of the Fulani. Look at how they load people in a trailer with their motorbike and whatever they carry that are hidden, that are not seen. They brought them to OKTT. That's what you see. And what did they do? Only to turn them back. As you turn them back, what is the guarantee that they are going back? They are going nowhere. What you're supposed to, if Nigeria was a country, what they would do is to arrest every single one of them. Arrest every one of them. That's what you're supposed to do. The only thing you're supposed to do is to arrest all of them. There is nothing else to do. Nothing else. Just arrest all of them. But in the Nigeria, what do you see? What they do in the zoo is to celebrate them. They tell them go back. They turn the motor back and they just move a little bit and they now enter into the bush. They just enter the bush. That is what you see. They just go a little bit and they enter into the bush and continue what they are doing. It is so shameful. But if it were when we had men on the ground, if it were when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Ekpa is, when they see this, a instruction will be going. They must go back to the north. It's not just turning back to go back to the next village. You don't want them to stop in OKTT. They will leave OKTT and stop in the next village. If it was when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon were there, they will make sure they send them back to where they are coming from. That they will make sure that they go back to where they're coming from. It's so sad. It is so sad. How can you tell them go back? They are watching them. And look at, I saw the same video now. I saw the same video in the southwest. When we saw it, we saw Amoteku. Amoteku stopped the trailer and arrested every one of them. That is the southwest, Yoruba land. They came with trailer in Yoruba land. Amoteku stopped the trailer and arrested every one of them. Carry every one of them. In one of the one that they turned them, they arrested them, tailed them, and hold the driver, give escort to driver back to Kano where they come from. But look at the southeast, Igbo land. In Igbo land, they come there shouting, "Oh, don't offload here, don't offload here, escort them out of village." You escort them out of village, and they go to the next village, they stop, and they follow bush, and they come back. We are not serious, my brother. We are not serious. We are not serious to defend our land. We are not serious. We are not serious at all, one bit. And remember the word of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said a time will come when you will call him and you will not see him. The Mazi Simon Ekpa you put in prison, a time will come when you will remember him. It is coming very quick. That time is coming very quick when you remember, oh, how I wish Mazi Simon was here. You will remember the Liberation Army and you say, oh, how I wish the Liberation Army were around. That time is fast approaching. That time is fast approaching. You can imagine, in our own land, this is what is happening in our own land. All they can do is to shout and shout and shout and shout and shout. Okay, Titi. They're just there shouting, hey. If it is in Yoruba land, I see them, they will invite their security to carry them. Security will carry them, but in Igbo land, even police will never dare to arrest them. Never. Ebubago will never near them. AVG will never near them. They will not near them. But in Yoruba land, they arrest these idiots. In Yoruba land, Amoteku arrested them because they are terrorists, people that don't have anywhere they're going. They are not coming for business. They are not coming for farming. They are not coming for anything. They don't have address where they're going. They just pack their bike and everything. Where are you heading? Nowhere. These are terrorists. Do you need anybody to tell you? And what we see when we see them, we shout, "Oh, now float." He sent them back to where they're going. And they go and drop them somewhere else. Escort to the next village. Then escort. Who is escorting them? Did you see anybody confronting them? Did you see any police around? Did you see any security operative? Did you see a Bubago there stopping them? Did you see AVG confronting them? The only thing Sulu don't know is to attack our people. The only thing Sulu don't know is to attack IPOB. The only thing Sulu don't know is to fight against it at all, destroy markets, and tell the world that we are clean ourselves. But look at the terrorists in Oketiti, having a free ride, and the people are helpless. It is a shame. It is a shame. And you see the ones that call themselves pastors and reverend, they are doing nothing. Everybody fold their hands and they are watching. Some of them will come and say, pray. Pray. Something you can do, you are praying. Who do you think will answer that prayer? Something you can do for yourself. Instead of doing what you have to do, you are praying. You are praying when God has already told you what to do. There are certain things that you will do for yourself. There are some things only you can do for yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. There are some things that only you can save yourself from. No human being on planet Earth will save you. If you refuse to save yourself, you will die in it. Just like people who are praying for this insecurity today, praying for Nigeria. You are praying for Nigeria to be good. You are praying for Nigeria to be better. When you are the one that will have to turn things around. We talk about peaceful disintegration. You don't want it. Some people talk about revolution. You don't want it. You just want something to wake up and change. You are using the same system that is making you a slave. You want to vote. You want to bring P2B to use 4 years and change something that was been there for more than 60 years. To use 4 years and repair something that has been destroyed for 60 years, and you think your head is all right. You are not all right. You're not all right. You're not all right. More especially those who are deceiving people in their churches to pray. Let us hear this. Listen to what this man has to say. Even though a one Nigerian is, but listen to what he has to say. Because even when they say it right, we'll pick it.
Sir, you don't sound like the type of person that would want to say, "Let's pray for Nigeria." From what you're saying.
I don't know whether your question will cover that. There is nothing like a pray for Nigeria. The philosophy, every individual comes to this world with a blank sheet of paper. Like they are there for them. And all these nations that are doing whatever they are doing, it's intentional. By the people controlling them, the cabals, it's what they want, they get it. See what is going on between America, Israel, and Iran. They know what they are fighting for. But how many people can say what they are fighting for? Yeah. That's the way it works. The idea of anybody praying for anybody is just deceit. They know that they cannot use their prayer to do anything. But if a group of people, even as few as 3 or 5, gather together today and chart a course over the period, you see that course materializing. But what do people do first is to make sure that we don't have any intention of our own. That's what religion is about. God will do everything. God will do everything. You see, nobody is giving you any task. So they rope so many people into that, both educated and uneducated, including professors.
But
So I'm not
some,
going to pray. I'm
you're
not
not
going
going
to
to.
pray for Nigeria. I want people who will bring and know exactly what they want, and they will continue to bring to themselves those they can work together with.
You mentioned the cabal several times. Who's the cabal? Is it the West? Is it? Do you know who's that cabal?
Uh,
You see, sometimes these people ask useless questions, although intentional. But the most important takeaway here is that things does not just change because you wish so or because you pray so. You must put your prayer to action. It is action that changes things, not just prayer alone. After praying, you put your actions forward, and Chukwu Okike Abịama will make you to understand. That is exactly what this man is trying to say here. That it is not just by wishing. You don't just come and wish. You pray. Like some people, some general overseers, some churches that tell you pray for Nigeria. What Nigeria needs is a drastic action. Just like the action that Biafrans are taking. Disintegration, peaceful division, peaceful breakup, asking for referendum, asking that countries should be created along value system. That is a genuine cause that we are pursuing. But anybody that is coming to wish for a better Nigeria tomorrow, simply because you prayed in your church or whatever, you are a dreamer. We are just dreaming. Because you and I know that it is not obtainable. It is not. And they will continue to paint their lies and deceive you. And some of you will believe. So I agree with what the man said. To an extent, it is action that changes something, not just prayer. Action, your deed. If you go and sleep and say things is going to be better, things are going to change, it is not going to change. And I bet you it is going to get worse by day. So, my fellow Biafrans, let us go to their media also. We will have to go to their media and see what we can find in their media today. And everywhere you are as a Biafran, please try as much as possible to keep the legacy of our leaders. They have paid a heavy price. And they are still paying price today. Do not take their word for granted. Don't play for the work they have done. No matter how aggrieved you are, always remember there are people who have sacrificed for you and I. And that their sacrifice will never be in vain. Their sacrifice will never be in vain. There are people who have given their life for you and I. We must continue to remember them. We must continue to defend them. We must continue to protect them. Don't you ever ignore the facts. Don't join the people that are attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. You are not supposed to be listening to those messages that is coming from the mouth of the Jezebel, the one that calls herself Nneka Chimezie, who is the leader of the destruction of Biafra today. The highest paid saboteur today, the most dangerous woman today, is that woman, Nneka Chimezie. But I believe she's going to get her reward very soon. Because he cannot serve the zoo without coming back in shame. And is she going to succeed? She will definitely fail. She will definitely fail in what? In that mission they gave her. It's just a question of time. We will be here and we'll see how she's going to end. So, my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, no matter how difficult it is, continue to stand strong. At the end of the day, victory shall be ours. Let us hear what they have to say on this very Arise report on their news so we can be able to dissect them. So we can't just speak without bringing them up so that the world will also look into what is happening. That is why we go there and dig them out. Let us listen.
Scene where a tense moment unfolded in Washington over the weekend as a gunman opened fire near the White House Correspondents' Dinner in what authorities believe was a targeted attack on President Donald Trump and senior officials. The suspect, identified as 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen, was arrested after firing shots near a security checkpoint at the Washington Hilton. Investigators say early findings suggest he intended to target members of the administration. Security operatives swiftly evacuated President Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, and Vice President J.D. Vance, preventing what officials described as a potential tragedy. Law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, are now probing the suspect's motive, with reports indicating he may have left behind writings outlining his intentions. President Trump, speaking after the incident, praised the Secret Service for their swift response, while calling for calm and urging Americans to resolve differences peacefully.
We very much, and you wanted to too, very much wanted to continue it because I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we held out. You were there. We held out right to the end, but they didn't want to take a chance, and I understand it was protocol. But we're going to be doing one hopefully within the next 30 days or sooner, and I am ready, willing, and able. And I was all set to really rip it. And I said to my people, this would be the most inappropriate speech ever made if I said it. So I have to save it. I don't know if I could ever be as rough as I was going to be tonight. I think I'm going to be probably very nice. I'll be very boring the next time, but we're going to have a great event. And you did a fantastic job. Thank you.
Do you believe you were the target of this tonight?
I guess. I mean, these people, they're crazy. They're crazy. And, you know, you never know. It was very far away from me. I had to go through a lot. You know, we had resources all over. We had resources sitting at tables, literally in disguise, sitting maybe at your table. Who knows? But we had people all over the room. So he had a long way to go. That was really the first line of defense, and they got him. And they really, you know, they acted incredibly. No, there was no notification. We had no idea.
Here in Nigeria, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has declared that any government that fails to guarantee the security of life and property has no justification to exist, delivering a stark assessment of Nigeria's worsening insecurity and the leadership's challenges confronting the country. This comes as a factional national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Tani Moturaki, and the national chairman of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Senator David Mark, raised alarm over the increasing spate of insecurity across the country, describing the situation as frightening. Obasanjo blamed Nigeria's deepening challenges on poor leadership, warning that the country has lost its influence in international affairs and mishandled key regional relationships, particularly within the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. On the pervasive insecurity in Nigeria, the outspoken ex-leader of Africa's most populous nation maintained that the citizens must not accept kidnapping and other social vices as a norm, referencing how Nigerians could travel across the country in the past. The former Nigerian president also said Nigeria was no longer at the table of global decision-making, stating that the country's inability to shape events beyond its borders reflects a broader leadership deficit. He delivered a scathing assessment of the federal government, stating that any administration that fails to guarantee the safety of life and property has effectively forfeited its right to exist. In other news, the leadership of the ADC and the Turaki-led faction of the PDP have agreed to work together to produce a single presidential candidate to rescue Nigeria and its suffering masses in 2027. The opposition political party leaders in a communique issued at the end of the summit of opposition political parties held in Ibadan, which featured keynote addresses on free, fair, and credible elections, how to tackle insecurity in Nigeria, and how to build a productive economy vowed to resist every machination by the All Progressives Congress (APC) to turn Nigeria into a one-party state. At the summit, David Mark also said the federal government has not done enough to address the protracted insecurity, while Tanimu Turaki urged Nigerians to reject any ploy to make the country a one-party state. He blames the governing APC for the crisis in some political parties in the country.
Insecurity has become a defining feature of our daily life. From the avoidable protracted insurgency and terrorism to the relentless banditry and mass kidnappings, to the steady rise of violent crimes in our urban sectors, Nigeria faces a historic challenge. Yet, the government, whose primary duty it is to protect the city. Number 3, what is the persecution of our
had gathered over the 4 days to deliberate on ways to strengthen tax systems, improve compliance, and deepen revenue generation.
It's to berate the lunatic.
Federal government has not introduced any fresh tax on vehicles as claimed in the material. Right, good morning, welcome to a new week, and the story this morning, of course, a lot of politicking over the weekend. The ADC, responses by the APC, and not just the ADC, a coalition of opposition parties, but big news coming from overseas, over the shores, from the United States of America, the correspondents' dinner. Rufai, your take on these stories?
So I'm happy that the NRS have been able to debunk the story on the taxation. I mean, that was false. When you saw that, obviously, you would know that it was headed nowhere. And when you look at what happened in America, I totally condemn those attacks on the lives of President Trump and the people also there. I think some deranged human beings should not even be given the chance in the first place to get into a place like that, to be able to attack people. Whatever his manifesto is, I think it's deranged. But I was also sound a note of warning. Trump should stop dividing America. Because yes, he said people should have their differences and align peacefully. In the press conference afterwards, then he went ahead in an interview in 60 Minutes to berate the lunatic left, like he says, because they were pushing conspiracy theories that this might probably have been staged and all of that. No, it is not for you to divide the country even further. And the sad part we should remember is that this level of division that he has pushed is the reason we are seeing what is happening in America. You have a war in your hands that you don't be able to sort out, that you didn't plan for, that you reneged against your generals by going into, that you've peddled division with what has happened with ICE and with your rhetoric and your very acerbic rhetoric. And division breeds division. Hatred breeds hatred.
Rufai, you know nothing about American politics. Rufai, you know nothing. You are a lunatic when it comes to the issue of American politics. You can shove that your hatred on Trump, shove it in your pocket, swallow that your hatred. Anything you are saying about Trump is irrelevant. Calling him divisive. How is he divisive? How is Trump divisive? This is how you create your own world, create your own illusion, and you are in a decayed country. You've not been able to sort it out. You can't even be able to speak freely where you are. You are in a shithole, disgraced country, and you are looking onto a man that is in a civilized world, doing what he has to do to save humanity. You wear glasses, you come to Arise TV. When it comes to the shows, Trump, every vein in you rise, your hatred begin to increase. But the problem in your country, you can't solve it. You can't solve it. You don't even have the boldness enough to come out and talk about what is happening in your country or call them out. But when it comes to Trump, you can analyze and talk your trash. Does it change anything? It doesn't change Trump from doing what he did. Don't worry, the time shall come when you will know that the Democrats are lunatics. They are worse than lunatics. It is Democrats that put Nigeria in what they are today. It was the Democrat that elected Buhari. You've forgotten that. All of a sudden, this idiot have lost his brain. That it is the Democrats that caused the problem Nigeria is facing today with Obama. They created the monster Nigeria is facing today. The terrorists we are facing today, it is Democrat of the United States that created it. So you want Trump to fold hand so that they can continue to do what they are doing. Lunatic that Trump called them is what they are. Those left, they are lunatics. And Trump is not somebody who come to try to be politically correct. You can continue your political correctness in your studio here. Not for Donald Trump. I just have to chip that in.
America has become more hateful under Trump, and we must have to say it. In as much as we condemn the attacks on his life,
don't condemn it.
But we can also let him know that two truths exist. He should stop dividing the country. And that's what he's constantly always done.
Nonsense.
As regards politics, I totally condemn Governor Sheyi Makinde for bringing it to our memory where it's here. And if you go back to the 60s, it was a very terrible time. There was a big contention between Akintola and Awolowo as regards the supremacy in the Southwest, who was going to hold the ace as regards the political party. They were formerly allies, but they had gone apart. And you can see further readings in that as regards that situation. As regards, I think, Victor Laduke Akintola's book, I think that's the son of Laduke Akintola, he wrote extensively about that, and all the journals still carry that. As regards the wet year scenario, wet year pretty much means that they put petrol, one wet tea, our political opposition, they put petrol on the houses and it burns them down. And that was what snowballed into what we call the Wild Wild West in the 60s. And if you remember, these were the occurrences that snowballed into, the 65 elections are very terrible for this country. And these were the things that made the military boys idealistic in nature, think the way forward was to be able to do away with the political class that made this country go into a war that is not needed. So it was a series of unfortunate events. The Wild Wild West was so terrible that people that lived through the moments, it was always sorrow, tears, and blood. I mean, this was the era that you had all sorts of political hatred and division. It's not needed at this point in time. But also, we must call on the APC. It has now shown with empirical facts that the APC is also doing everything to stop the other political parties, to slide this country to a one-party state. And what are the facts? Look at the scenario where Bajabi Amila was pretty much bragging and saying scattered them even more. Look at the scenario in the PDP, with Wike, that is supporting the president, but is supposed to be in an opposition party to the president. Look at many other scenarios. Look at the scenario of the Labour Party. And there was a court judgment since April 2025, and that judgment was not even recognized by INEC. So when INEC is so quick to do the status quo antebellum thing, I'm asking them, what about the court judgment in the Labour Party since April 2025 that approach should be off there, that was not taken up by INEC, that was just perfected in January 2026? So these are many things which also call on the ruling party. Please, you see, a democracy thrives in a competitive environment. Competition is the way forward. And INEC should remember that their integrity is already tainted going into this election. You see, we are still talking about the Amukuto forensics and everything. Till today, Amukuto and INEC have not subject himself as regards his tweets to it.
Boring the next time, but we're going to have a great event. And you did.
So I don't want to listen to the idiotic and nonsense politics.
Story there at the top right, APC PDP trade words over marking the gunman fails to shoot Trump. Looking at the International Times, Trump hails the brave king for the U.S. visit amidst all the controversy that has been going on with the shooting that we saw. And on metro.co.uk, we found that fuel
in this carroting stick. Very funny or not, because
that fuel. We say that he hit the nail on the head with these sentiments.
I would say, aptly said, it cannot be more. It cannot be more poignant if you ask me. That was unequivocally said and very it was typical of President Olusegun Obasanjo. I've had 3 exclusive interviews former President Obasanjo. And I think he really wants one thing that before he makes any comment, he really wants to ensure if you are ready to hear the truth or not, because of his unabashed approach in expressing himself. He really has a strong view about Nigeria. You can say it's someone that really loves this country, given all indices being compared to all other leaders. And you would say that he holds that memory of having that remarkable custody of Nigeria's golden era of democracy. From the point of diplomacy, it stands on economy and it stands on security. Truly, Section 14 of the Nigerian Constitution says, security and welfare shall be the primary responsibility of government. So any administration that cannot protect its citizens has no moral justification, has no ground to exist. And that's the point he is coming from. And you compare notes to during his time, his hard times against terrorists. And he even faced very overlapping ethnic insurgents during his time here. In Niger Delta, he faced the militants. In the southwest, there was the Oduduwa insurgents, the Oduduwa People's Movement, in the different part of the country. But he maintained that hard stand, and he held his ground, and he was also able to bring in this carrot and stick. Very fondly, he was also fondly remembered for adopting that carrot and stick measures, and he also laid the groundwork for some of these institutional safeguards, like the Ministry of Niger Delta, and many of this kind of response to in tackling security. He also made comments about Nigeria now no longer at the table where global decision making are being held. And I think that Obasanjo was very passionate when it comes to international affairs and diplomacy. And he commanded a lot of respect. And it was his goodwill that fast-tracked the cancellation of Nigeria's debt during his tenure. He was speaking one-on-one with Jack Chirac. He was speaking with Tony Blair. So the groundwork was led by him, and he was able to source for competent technocrats that would drive the agenda. In person of Madam Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, that was able to see through the technical frameworks of the debt cancellation. So he had a golden team. He had people because you can't even stand if you don't know your audience. Right. So we're talking of institutional memory here. So I think that he must have gauged that. He must have also learned from his past mistake, being a former military head of state, now coming back in 1999 to become the president of Nigeria. And he said something that is very, very instructive. He said that the Council of State meeting is not worth it, because the ideas from that council is not being implemented. That's right. So he also referenced someone who came from the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies and said that if he gives, and he said that the person told him that he was being sent by the president, and he said that if he gives his advice, will then implement it. So there is this absence of political will in driving it. And he also made reference to how Nigeria mismanaged the 50-year-long diplomacy in managing the ECOWAS sub-region. Yeah. The exit of Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali in 2025 was a reflection of poor diplomacy, if I would say, because he also traced because if you look at even Niger Republic is bound by 7 Nigerian states, so it holds a strategic and military importance to Nigeria. Sokoto, Kebbi, Jigawa, Katsina, just name it, 7 states are bounded with Niger Republic. So what are we talking about? And he also referred during the Civil War that they were able to get supplies from Niger Republic. So there's what is called diplomacy, astute diplomacy, and that's why we advocate for career diplomats to be sent to at least, if not all our missions, and grade A missions. We need career diplomats. Nigeria has spent a lot of money, and these people will be retiring, cutting away all this wealth of experience. They are very, very sound. I've interacted with many of them during my coverage of the United Nations Security Council meeting in headquarters, and I know that they do have very deep sense of understanding when it comes to international affairs. So you look at this, and he has also said that the Nigeria's refinery being run by the state will not work. And he initiated a privatization process. He initially invited Shell. Shell made reservations about the profit challenge and operational challenges that it would face if it took over Nigeria's refinery. Now, $16 million have been spent on this refinery, not to show for it. So I think that President Obasanjo and other past heads of state should, I think, more prominence and more cognizance should be given to that Council of State so that they can properly guide and create an institutional state safeguard for the nation, for the government. And so where they are lacking, we don't expect the president to know everything. So that is not my grouse with him. But when you have this kind of assets, brilliant past heads of state, that you could tap from their mistakes and their wealth of experience, I think that we have no business being where we are at the moment.
Well done with that in-depth analysis, and thank you for those really good reminders where Nigeria is coming from. Unfortunately, we're not in that same place as it is now. And finally, one of his statements was him warning against a one-party state, saying that it would strangle democracy, but added that Nigeria can still rise again if leadership is able to get this area right. And that leads us into our next story, which is in the front of the Punch, and that's the Ibadan meeting that has been making the rounds lately. And the headline reads, PDP ADC blocks reject joint presidential ticket. Now, the National Summit of Opposition Leaders in Ibadan, aimed at building a coalition for the 2027 elections, was held on Saturday, the 25th of April, and hosted by Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde. Now, the opposition looked united on the surface, but behind the curtain, it was a house divided against itself. Factions of the PDP, the ADC, Labour Party, and Accord Party all rejected the Ibadan summit, essentially saying that this is not. Now, while some leaders united front for 2027, many parties said they would rather ride solo than share the same course. How unfortunate. The warring camps within PDP even called the summit organizers imposters, claiming big names were misled into attending. Top figures like Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and Rabiu Kwankwaso were present, but their parties now say the gathering lacked true authority. The plan to present one super candidate for 2027 is now shaking like a table with broken legs. Seyi Makinde made comments about Operation Wete, which added fuel to the fire, sparking outrage and fear of violence. Now, this takes us into the story we'd like to focus on, a report that is making political temperature rise. And this is the remarks of Makinde inciting, as the APC says, inciting violence with Wete remark, and it's not mere opposition posturing. This story is on the front of this Daily Independent and The Punch, where Seyi Makinde, governor of Oyo State, is coming under tremendous fire after making remarks about Operation Wete from the 1960s. The APC has accused Seyi Makinde of playing with fire by referencing to a dark, violent chapter in Nigeria's past. Now, that chapter, Operation Wete, was a time when politics turned bloody, and APC says bringing it up now is very dangerous. The APC warns that his words could spark chaos. Now, Operation Wete was a huge political crisis from the 60s. Benga, can you give us the details of what exactly happened at that time, serving as a look back into history for those that actually remember it, and as an area of enlightenment for those who have not heard about it?
I know immediately you heard the words, I saw your curiosity about this. Anyway, I can always trust your curiosity as as a journalist, I think our weight here is something that holds a monumental place in Nigeria's history from 1962 to 1965. It was a period of power struggle between two leaders from the Southwest, Chief Lado Denton and Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And because of this power struggle went so bad that it turned violent and people were burning down houses. And by the way, waiting literally means washing, soaking. So people were burning down houses and all that. So it's a very violent tragic reminder in Nigeria's political history that even led to the disputed election of 1965. So it's something that no one wants to believe again in whatever capacity or whatever context. So I think that the message for political leaders, I think some don't, some just don't know how much of an influence leaders have in galvanizing followership, and truly already the political temperature is rising, and the landscape is facing a lot of uncertainty. So hitting up the polity at this moment, such rhetorics would not complement our race to the race to 2027 election in terms of having a free, fair, and credible election. But again, I think that the ruling APC too had found something to latch on, and which is now looking like a rhetorical ambush by the APC. That they finally found something to hold on to make the opposition party look a bit as if they are the one fomenting violence. But again, whichever way, if we know the impact of hate speech, then we will not trivialize such comments in whatever way. So I think that while we should not drag this too long, I think political leaders should be cautious. Then coming back to the Ibadan meeting, it's clear that ambition of these political parties had overridden the mission to address proper issues of governance, like Nigeria drifted into a one-party state. They need to have a viral democratic institutions and all that, because it presented that opportunity, that last lifeline opportunity for these parties, a formidable front ahead of the 2027 election. Because the reality now is that anyone not fully in support of this coalition is inadvertently supporting the ruling party. You don't underrate a party that has over 30 governors. You're talking about the political structure. That's the political reality, and you cannot you cannot trivialize it. You cannot underrate it. A party that is into that what some people perceive as having a self-cessation bid. You don't toy. You don't gamble it. You don't make a casino out of it. So I think that when you look at it, it's the failure to present a single candidacy, and that event also alludes to what the APC is saying, that it was organized by some group of imposters. Because otherwise, what's the value of that opposition summit if it cannot come together? That is resident in Florida, and also we had another one in September 2025 in New York, and we had another one in February 2026 at also his Florida area near his house, where a policeman ran into try to, and the off-duty policeman was killed. And now we're having another one in April 2026. So in all this, I think given the timeline, you look at the promptness of this security agents, the way that in all the circumstances, all the culprits had been apprehended, and that's kudos to U.S. security system.
Right.
But again, they need to go more further, because these perpetrators might just be acting as surrogate proxy there might be someone funding these attacks. So when you look at it, 5 attacks in less than 2 years, it's a whole lot for the US. So you can as well call him a cat with 9 lives, and it might go. This attack might go beyond the domestic front. It might be an international syndicate. So I don't want to run into conspiracy theory. So, but the fact is that there's been an established pattern, and it's been attacked 5 years since the campaign of Pennsylvania in 2024 July, where he narrowly missed that shot. 4 more attacks that followed.
Well, he truly needs to tread with caution going at this rate.
Yeah, they need to be for the security apparatus as well.
Absolutely. Let's take one more international story, which is in the New Telegraph. A Mali defense minister killed in coordinated terrorist attacks. Now, shockwaves rippled through Mali as top military boss, his name is Sadio Kamara, was killed in a deadly attack. A car bomb exploded outside his home, turning a heavily guarded area into a scene of devastation. The blast happened in Kati, a stronghold packed with soldiers and powerful government figures. Even family members were not spared, as several of his relatives were caught in the explosion and lost their lives. Kamara was a key power player in Mali's military government, which took control after coups in recent years. His death is like removing a central pillar, leaving the country's leadership shaking. The attack looks calculated and it looks very bold, sending a clear message that even top officials are not untouchable. Violence is also heating up elsewhere, with fresh fighting breaking out in Kidal. This double blow, a high-profile killing and new clashes, show the country is sliding deeper into crisis. Overall, Mali now faces a dark moment, with power, security and stability now hanging by a thread. Venga, you can comment in less than 30 seconds if you can.
Okay, really more. Okay, now going straight to the point. He was killed in Kati, a heavily military guarded town.
Yes.
And for someone in holding a high prominent position as the chief of defense staff of Mali, that's a signal to also the seat of power in Mali, because the seat of defense has been, and we've seen the invincibility of the seat of defense has been shattered now. So it's just a step down from attacking the seat of power. So it shows that the country is truly under siege. And this is well, from the way it was reported, a well-organized and calculated strike in Mali. And also, this coming against the background of the violence erupting in Kidal. By the way, I was in Mali in the 2012 election in Mali, and the 2013 election in Mali, and Kidal was a place where we were warned not to go to as journalists. And so when you look at all this, the fact that from 2013 till now, it's almost another 15 years, and we are still battling with that problem within the Gulf, within the Sahel region. So there is a need, and that was one of the reasons that these people, the alliance of the Sahel states, pulled out of the ECOWAS state because of the failure of ECOWAS to deal with the violent extremists along the Sahel region. So, and I think that this is the time that we need to consider, just like former President Obama said, we need to consider bringing back these people, because they hold a strategic position in the security, safety, and stability of the ECOWAS sub-region. Oh, yes. In 2021, Army Chief Atahiru Ibrahim was also killed. So when the insecurity threat gets so daring as attacking the strategic formation, then it calls for a lot of considerations. Because of our time, I'll leave it at that.
Great analysis, nonetheless. Well, that's all that we have for the newspaper review. You're watching the
Thank you so much for being there. And Just like we just got the update, that's what it got to do every time, every evening, as always, when we come towards the evening time, we look into some issues, the possibilities and those things that we know that we cannot be able to accept. There are so many things that are happening that we would like to be exposed. Just like this issue of Mali they are talking about. When you see how Mali is handling their insecurity, at least you will see that they are making an effort. It is very clear that Mali is making efforts to make sure that they stop the insecurity that is happening in their country. You see how they decimated the terrorists who were trying to take over their place. You see how they moved out and they went after the terrorists, decimated them, captured them. Many of you have seen the video. You saw the video of the number of terrorists that the Malian military caught. You saw them. It's not like the one you see in Nigeria. All you hear is that they attack, they kidnap, they pay ransom, they attack, they kidnap, they pay ransom. But look at Mali. They faced them head on. That same period, they went and wiped them away, and you saw their corpses everywhere. I can't be able to play the video here because of restrictions. Many of you have seen the video. That is how a country that is serious behaves. Not these ones that, even when they are killing their soldiers, generals, taking the life of generals, they are busy recruiting them into their military. They are busy telling you that they radicalize them and they send them to Saudi Arabia. They tell you that they're their brothers. The earlier you begin to focus on how to better your life, the better. That is why we, the Biafrans, we have no other way to go except home to Biafra. Biafra is our home. Biafra is a religion. And there is no going back. No matter what they say, we must continue to do what we have to do. Thank you so much for joining me on this very short program. We're going to come back tomorrow by the grace of Chukwu to continue from another issue for tomorrow. Join us tomorrow morning, and by the grace of God, we will come here again and do what we have to do. Thank you so much for joining, and may Chukwu continue to guide every of you. Good night, everybody. Good night.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, ideal heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the blood couldn't kind of even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pups on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. sitting back in the crib watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobuni wave was stronger than flood, but the juke was too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home.